This is a fully functional, perfectly smooth 360-degree photo booth, and I built it almost entirely with my 3D printer. It's one of my favorite projects ever, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I took it from a simple idea to a finished product. Let's get started. Okay, so let's dive into the design for the main body. The heart of this turntable is the rotating mechanism, and it all starts with a simple 2D sketch. I'm drawing several concentric circles here. These will form the stationary base and the inner rotating plate. Getting the spacing and the diameters just right is crucial for a smooth, wobble-free rotation later on. Once the sketch is fully defined, we can extrude it into a 3D object. You can see how these simple circles now create a nested set of rings. This channel that forms between them is where our roller bearings will eventually sit, allowing the two parts to spin effortlessly against each other. With the digital design complete, it's time to make it real. I sent the file over to the Bamboo Lab printer and started the print for this upper part of the housing. This is always the most exciting step, watching a concept become a physical object layer by layer. With the top part designed, the next logical step was to create the lower housing, the base that would support the spinning plate. Just like before, this piece starts with a similar foundation of concentric circles. This ensures that both halves of the enclosure will match up perfectly and the bearing track aligns for a seamless manual spin. For this purely manual version, the main goal was stability. I added these internal structures not for electronics, but to give the base rigidity without using a huge amount of filament. The design had to be strong enough to support objects without flexing, while still being lightweight. Every detail here is focused on the mechanical function. A smooth track for the bearings and a solid foundation. With the digital model for our manual turntable now complete, it was time to make it real. You can see how the printer builds up the base, including the internal supports that give the final part its strength. This was another long print, but having this precise base is the key for a smooth spinning final product. With all the parts for our manual turntable fresh off the printer, it was finally time for the most satisfying part, the assembly. The key to the entire mechanism is these small roller bearings. They press fit snugly into the track we designed, creating a low friction surface for the top plate to glide on. The tolerances here were really important to get that perfect fit. Not too loose, not too tight. Once all the bearings were in place, the two halves of the housing slotted together perfectly. And the moment of truth, the first spin was a success. It was super smooth, stable, and almost silent. A really nicely functional manual turntable. And honestly, I could have stopped right here, but as I was using it, I realized that getting a perfectly consistent speed for video was almost impossible by hand. I kept thinking, what if this could spin by itself? So it was back to the drawing board, or in this case, back to the CAD software. My goal was to add a motor with minimal changes to the existing design. The first step was to design and print a new central hub to securely hold the stepper motor. I'm using these brass threaded inserts. A quick touch with the soldering iron melts them right into the plastic, giving me a durable metal thread. With the new mount ready, I could install the stepper motor itself. Next came the brains of the operation, the microcontroller and the motor driver board. For this prototype, the plan was simple. They just needed to fit securely inside the housing, leaving enough room for all the connections. Then came the wiring. This part can look a bit chaotic, but it's really just connecting everything step by step. The power switch, the controller, the driver, and finally, the motor itself. Using these little lever connectors makes the process much cleaner and more reliable. And with the heart of our prototype now beating, it was time for the first full test run. And we have rotation success. The stepper motor provides a perfectly smooth and consistent spin, which was impossible to achieve by hand. With this little button, I can easily start and stop. This was exactly what I was hoping for when I decided to upgrade the design. This is the result I was looking for. A clean, professional way to showcase any object from every single angle. I was so happy with how it turned out that I wanted to show you the final adjusted design in a bit more detail. This is the internal layout. As you can see, every single component has its own custom fit housing. The motor is mounted centrally for balanced rotation. The electronics are secured to the side, and even the wiring has channels to keep everything clean and organized. This is the real beauty of designing for 3D printing. You can create a perfectly integrated all-in-one solution. So that was the journey of our 3D printed photo booth from a simple idea to the final motorized product. I'm incredibly happy with how it turned out, and I hope it inspired you and showed what's possible with a 3D printer. As promised, if you feel like building your own, everything you need is linked in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to join me for future projects. It really helps a lot. Thanks for your time, and see you soon. Happy printing!